What's up, toy fans? Ben here from Bugsy's Toy Box, and it's a minifigure special. Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. It's Ben, we're back, another week, another video. We've been up to all sorts of things while we were in quarantine. We had an awesome chat with Aaron from Empire Toys, Dan from Mr. Dan Plastic, and Andy from Andy's Toys and Models, along with Mugsy, on a video chat the other night, which was pretty cool. Just chatting toys, chatting rubbish. What was meant to be a 40-minute sort of chat turned into 3 hours. But it's always cool to chat toys with like-minded people. So that might be getting made into a video. It might not. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But as I said, guys, today the video is on minifigures, and in particular, my main minifigure focus, if I can say that without muddling all my words up, and that is monster wrestlers in my pocket. Now, this was a line brought out by Meg in 1995, following the end of the normal Monsters in My Pocket run. 45 figures in total. I don't have them all, but what I thought I'd do is just sort of go through from the beginning to the end of the ones I do have, show you guys the figures. So the sculpts on these are awesome, the paint's pretty cool, and tell you all the names of them, because the names is something I forget. And what I've handily made myself to know who I need and what I need is a nice little handy check guide. So if anybody needs one of these, shoot us a message, and if I can find it, I will send you the PDF. So you guys can check them all off. Bearing in mind this isn't complete, because I realise there's a couple of variants and stuff that I've missed out, but I'm pretty sure it's got the 45 main figures in it. Right, so what we'll do is we'll start off with number one. Well, not number one, but the first one in the line, which is Iron Mighty, which is this dude. I'm going to make sure he focuses. He is awesome. As you can see, guys, the detail on these is pretty cool. You can see all the sort of material pattern to his tunic and his sort of socks, but he is cool. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he is number one, worth 50 points. As you can see on the bottom, if I can get the camera to focus, Meg 1995. It's got the number and the points. So that starts us off. Right, number two. I'm going to keep looking down because I'm going to have to keep referring to the sheet because I can't remember the 45 names for all of them. I remember some of them, or think I do. But this is just an extra help so I can make sure I'm giving you the right information. Right, this is Jester Minute. As you can see, he's a Jester, obviously. And they've all got these sort of pretty thick wrestler sort of style pose. This was one of the most common ones. Like, we get this in cereal all the time. Like, you could buy these in, I think, in blind bags or packs. You get them carded for certain sets of them. But most of the time, as I did, you probably got them in cereals like Frosties or Cornflakes or Rice Krispies, or I think it's mostly Kellogg's. But yeah, so he is number two, and he is also a 50-pointer. I don't really know the game that you're meant to have played with these. So if anybody does, or sort of knows a link to it, stick it in the comments below and let us know. Right, number three is Brad the Barbarian. Now he's got a little bit of a different sculpt. As you can see, he's got these long toes that sort of poke out, all dressed in black, a black mohawk on the top, and he looks really angry. He is he's a 75 pointer, as you can see. Number three. So, yeah. Right. Number four is another one of the really, really common ones. Texas Turbo. He's sort of a wrestler gone cowboy. See his little neckerchief there. He's got his little cowboy's hat on. He's a 100-pointer. See on this, I have to cover my face to get it to focus on what's in my hand. But he's awesome. Yeah, as I say, he's one of those ones that you used to find, like, he was quite a common one. Right, number five, we have Shark Bite. If I can hold him without dropping him. He's cool. The sculpt on this one is awesome. Sort of how they've taken figures that shouldn't really have arms and legs and added them to it. And he's got sort of scales on his tunic and stuff. Sort of goes all the way around to the back. Really cool. Right, number six. Oh, he was a 75-pointer, by the way. Number six is Main Man, who's sort of this big lion sort of type figure. Really stocky, really thick. These ones that are sort of in this sort of pose stand really well. They've got sort of really tall feet. And yeah, they display really nicely as well. I need to get some more shelves for these so I can sort of tier them up. Otherwise, you don't really see them when they're just sort of flat in a line. But yeah, he's a 100-pointer, number 6, main man. Right, number 7, probably one of the most common ones to find. And we had hundreds of these. Well, not hundreds, but you'd rush to start the packet of cereal in the morning just so you could get the toy. We used to play the game where you only got it if you poured it out and it fell in your bowl. So you'd fight to who could pour the... You never wanted the first pour of the box because it was never at the top. You used to sort of around the middle. But this guy, Crossbones, number 7, 75-pointer. He's got sort of like a weird beetle-looking tusks to his mouth. But the sculpt on these, you can see all the sort of the muscles and the tendons holding him together. And he is awesome. Right, number 8. We've got Frank the Stone, who is sort of loosely based on a Frankenstein style figure. So you can see all the bolts coming out of his neck, sort of skull and crossed bones on his tunic. But he is awesome. Sort of a different sort of pose with this one. You see, they all look so angry in their faces. But that's cool. 50 points, number 8. Right, number 9 is Tony. So it must have... was Tony the Tiger the mascot for Kellogg's? I know he's the mascot for Frosties, but so these ones must have come in Frosties packs. But you get 2 variants of these. This is the more common one with Coach written across his sort of jersey, but you can get one where it says Tony instead in black letters. So they are harder to find. None of these figures are particularly sort of expensive to sort of try and find, but I just like taking my time to try and complete the set. It's taken me... I only started picking them up about 18 months ago. And I'm pretty much all the way through now. Just some colour variants. And I think one figure that I just haven't found. And a couple of the weird accessories that came with the sort of the fighting rings and stuff. So Tony the Tiger, number 9, 100 points. Right, next up we have Double Header. Now this is another one of those big thick figures. Sort of got 2 heads smashed into one, which gives him 3 eyes. Absolutely massive figure. It's one of the tallest ones out of the bunch. He's as I say, number 10, 100 points. I'll get that to focus yet. You can see that on his feet. So these were all really cool, and the colours sort of vary so much, which is nice. So you can differentiate, obviously, between them quite quickly. Right, next one, number 11 is Hog Stomper. This guy came in 2 colours. So you had the original, which was that sort of, I say fleshy coloured sort of whatever, and then his green tunic. And it's sort of like an evil version in yellow and purple. But these are called just the angriest looking pig. Now these ones, if I remember rightly, are 25 points apiece. So they're sort of a bit lower down the scoring food chain. If I can get those to focus. I can't really see because my hand's in front of my face. But that's one of my favourite sculpts in the line. Right, next up we have the Nuclear Ninja. This is a 75-pointer, number 12. Really cool. Some of these, they sort of added accessories and a bit more sort of detail to them. Like he's got his baton, he's got a sort of a grenade or something in his hand. His face is all covered up. He's got a sort of like little ninja boots and stuff on. Or spin him over. He's got throwing stars on the tunic and whatever that is. Oh, it's the other set. It's nunchucks in his hand. But he is cool. He's a 75-pointer. Right. Next up, number 13, Simeon Smasher, 25 points. Some sort of like deranged monkey. Looking, sort of the fur texture in him. I'll speed up through these because I realise I'm sort of going, not going slowly, but we could go a little bit quicker. I don't want to bore everyone. Right. We've got, he was a 25-pointer. Howling Prowling Werewolf, 100 points. If I can get him up and not cover his face up. So he is cool. You can see all his hair. He's got like a little bat on his trunks. And sort of they painted the nails and stuff, the toenails on this one, just to add an extra bit of detail. He's also got a sort of a medieval barbarian style hat to him as well. Right. Then we have Sabretooth, 50 points. Quite aptly named with his massive, massive teeth. Looks quite similar to the last one in the sort of stance, but as you can see, yeah, he's still got sort of that hair detail and whatever added to him. Right, next up, we have Toad Trasher. So this is a 25-pointer. This one and the next one, Gizzard the Lizard, came in these sort of same colours, and then a black tunicked one with a sort of a lighter green. to the and I'm pretty sure they were like a duo. They were a pair, these two. So they were cool. So yeah, Gizzard the Lizard and 25 points, and Toad Trasher 25 points. So I need the black trunk, black tunic variants of those. Piranha the Piledriver, a 75 pointer. You see, he looks pretty mean from all those sharp teeth and all the scales and stuff on him. So that's pretty cool. We've got Grunt, which I have the green and yellow variant. There's also a blue and orange variant. So blue sort of fur and a orange tunic, but he's got sort of eyes on that as well. So he's looking at you from all angles. He's cool. Right, next up we have One-Eyed Jack, like a Cyclops. So he's cool. Looks like he's sort of wearing a dress or sort of a tutu sort of style thing and a headband. He's sort of almost very 80s. So that's cool. He's a 50 pointer. Gargoyle, only 25 points, but this is a pretty mean looking figure. If anybody's been watching Disney Plus and watching Gargoyles, if they haven't been watching it, go and watch it because it's great. I forgot how good it was and I've been watching it from the beginning again. But yeah, it sort of looks that sort of demonic sort of possession. And it's pretty cool. Really cool sculpt. Right, next up we have Bulldog Drummond, who there's two different colour variants. So they're sort of whitey, off-white and green. And there's a green and sort of a more turquoisey green and a yellow one. Another really cool sort of sculpt on these. Got quite mean looking faces on all of them, as I've said. Right, next up we have another one of the really cool sculpts. This is a little bit different. This is Bloodsucker the Vampire. He is 100 points. But he's got a lot more detail up to him. You can see the sort of bats holding his cape and stuff on. Bat belt and sort of, they've added a lot more paint to this one to sort of differentiate between the pieces. So he is cool. Right, next up, another one of my favourite sculpts. Not another one of my favourites, because I don't really have a favourite. There's lots that I like more than any others. Is Stickleback. So he came in sort of this off-white and red, but also in a green and black. So I've got both of those, luckily. They are 25 points again. Right, we then have the Crusher Cusack, sort of very mean Russian looking dude with an eye patch. So he's cool. Another one of these sort of beefy figures that stands up really nicely. Right, Steel Slammer. This was another one that came with a colour variant. I don't know how they decided which ones to do variants in and which not to. But he came in sort of silver and also came in a black, which is quite cool. Both in looking as mean as each other. So yeah. Right. Then we have General Mayhem. 50 points, number 27. He is cool. Sort of proper army general style with star on his hat, his army boots and stuff on. His packs and stuff on him as well. Really cool sculpt. Really angry looking guy. Lots of detail to this one. Right, we've done page 1, guys. Not long left. Right, next up we have Man-O-Arms, 50 points. I particularly like the fist coming out of his stomach on this one, and he looks so mean, so fed up and grumpy. Really nice sort of colour on this one, that really sort of light popping blue from the 90s. That was awesome. Right, then we had another one that they did variants on. So you had Dooney in his green tunic, and he also came in a pink. So one of the few figures that's got those two bright pops of colour in the two different figures. He's a 25 pointer as well. Right, next up, Julio the Mauler. I'm going to say Julio because it's a J. Just guessing that he's sort of Spanish. So he came in this sort of pinky, it's more of a purple, but the light's making it look pink. And then a much paler red one. Now, I'm assuming this is a variant because it doesn't look like it's sun damaged, but it very well could be. So if anybody knows whether that was a variant or not, stick it in the box, let me know. They're 75 points. Right, another variant. We've got the Chain Gang Chomper. Really beefy, heavy figure. This one's quite a top heavy, so it falls over quite a lot. So he came in green, and he also came in yellow. Another really angry looking figure, sort of really gritted teeth, open mouth, really cool. Right, another one of my my favourite sculpts is the Executioner. 75 points. He's got a lot of detail. He's got his hangman's noose, his sort of executioner's hood. Really detailed on these ones. Really nice paint on this one actually as well. Right, next up we have the Congo King. With his with bone through his nose. If I can get that to focus, not on my face. And he's got, what's he got in his hand? Oh, he's got a shrunken head and stuff in his hand. He is cool. Really, really cool figure, really cool paint. And sort of the blue bands around his arms and holding his hair out of his face. Right, next up we have Bully the Beef. So he came in sort of a brown tunic. I'll tell you what, if I hold him up with the other hand, that'd be better, wouldn't it? Yeah. So he came in that colour, and then red with blonde hair. Both with a sort of that bull ring through their nose, making them look even meaner. So that's cool. Right, we have Smasher Basha, who's got like one giant arm. Like he's been in the gym, he's been favouring one side, or he's some sort of mutant, but he's got his little rope belt on and sort of Roman style sandals. But he's pretty cool. Awesome sculpt to that one, really cool paint. Right, next up we have Headbanger. This one's in a bit of an awkward stance. His sort of legs are like one behind the other. It reminds me a little bit of the Turtles when they've always got that one foot to the back cocked up. But he's really cool. He looks a bit crazed and angry. But yeah, another really cool paint, really cool sculpt. Lots of detail. It's nice that they didn't forget all the sort of the details around the back of these figures and didn't just sort of focus on the front. You find a lot of figures, minifigures, you get them and they can miss detail. Well, the newer ones do. All the sort of old 80s and 90s, they put so much detail into them. I've been chatting with a few people online recently and come across a few sort of new lines like Slug Zombies, which I didn't know existed, and some, I think it's Gizo figures. So they're Japanese eraser figures, and they are awesome. Found out they're very expensive as well, so I don't think I'm going to be getting my hands on those anytime soon. Right, next up we have Sargent Strangle in his sort of police officer's uniform, sort of police officer's hat. It's really cool. He's got his hands open to choke somebody, body slam someone. Really cool detail on these. Right, we then have Coach Harry Headlock. He's got his sort of he's got his towel, his sort of his squeegees, all there ready to help out. It seems my one has been chewed on the foot, if I can get that to focus, and on the heel. Both of the heels, which is annoying. So what I might have to do is upgrade and switch that one out at some point. Right, we have Referee Double Nelson with his sort of his flat top and his finger pointing to call time on the matches. That's cool. He's got such skinny little legs as well. Right, then we have Referee Final Countdown. He's got his sort of bow tie and his glove and stuff on. He's all ready to be in the ring. The next one is one I don't have, and when I did some research on it, I couldn't find a name for it. It came in a pack with Ortho the Ogre, who's a really cool figure, sort of a mismatch of body parts and a bit of a mutant. The Deadly Night Nurse, who is a scary looking figure, the only female character in there, but I mean, I'm not surprised. They sort of added that little extra bit of detail, painted her nails. She's got a nurse's uniform and stuff on, but you wouldn't want her looking after you if you were in the hospital. And Dr. Suit Yourself, the crazy surgeon with sort of Edward Scissorhands style, like bits and pieces on his hands. And that came in a pack with the spider stretcher to take people off and the little medic pack. But it also came with, that one that you can see there, sort of a mangled body to take off on the stretchers. And the last one that I have is Pinhead. So as you can see, massive body, big arms, tiny little head. So he's cool, really cool sculpt on that one, quite bubbly. So yeah, that's cool. So I'm actually only missing that one I just showed you, and then a couple of variants, about 4 or 5 variants, and then I have a complete set. Oh, I'm just missing the game board and the ring as well. But they're sort of quite hard to find. I'm not overly fussed on those. Some of them I bought in some blind bags off Tom at Pizarro's Pieces, probably about a year or so ago now. And they came with these Monster Wrestler sort of like discs. So you've got the Congo King there. Sort of it comes up with strength, skill, brains, and total power. These were done by Vivid, as you can see on there. And it's got special moves. The Bongo Head Shrinker. We've got Dooney, whose special move is the Straight Jacket. See those? I don't know whether these were a little bit like Top Trumps with the numbers. It was whoever had the highest sort of total power. Gizzard the Lizards. All the paints on these match the figures themselves. It's got Mano Arms is the Flying Fist Fury. All of his points and stuff on the back. What do we have? Oh, Crusher Cossack, a sort of angry Russian dude. But yeah, these are awesome. I got another sort of 3 of those, as you can see. So they were cool. I don't know whether every single you could get all of the normal line with the what do you call them? They're not like Tazo. They're a bit sort of the size of a Tazo, sort of discs, collector discs. So they are cool. So guys, yeah, that was just me rambling on for a while. A sort of a dip into my minifigure collection. In specifics, the Monster Wrestlers in my pocket. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider to like the video, subscribe, stick a comment in the box. All the appreciation and support from you guys is absolutely great. We love it. I hope everybody's staying safe, staying sane. Government have just, I think, announced it's another 3 weeks of lockdown, which I know might seem bad, but it's all for a good cause. The longer we sort of stay in now, the less we're going to have to later on, the less possibility of a spike. I'm not going to go into it because you'd be hearing all over the news and whatever. You can come here to look at toys. So yeah, stay safe, guys, and we'll see you soon. And as always, keep it unpunched.